My name is Dale Healy Egan, and my shoot number is 200665529. And I'm just here to demonstrate the game I've made called AsterVoid. Um, just a brief explanation of the game. So it's a green square. I like to call it a ship, which is avoiding asteroids, which are red balls. And the goal is to collect satellites, which are blue and green. Blue is two score, and green is one score. So you have a option at the start of the game to choose how many asteroids you want to go against, and you also have an option to um, select how many games you want to play. So extra lives, I call them, but it's just the amount of games in a tournament like Pong, for example. So I'm just going to demonstrate that now. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I might just put medium for demonstration so I can show key aspects of the game, and I would like three lives. So this is just basic instructions on how to play the game, and then my name. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to move this over so you can see the console clearly. So I've already lost a life, so I'm just going to try and like collect as many asteroids as I can, or not asteroids, sorry, satellites. But while I'm doing that, I'm just going to demonstrate the border here. So this is actually just to make the game a bit more difficult. And you've noticed as well that the ship has gotten smaller. The reason I've done this is just to demonstrate the getters and setters of the ship. So I've just gotten hit. So that was my last life. So I'm just going to play again, and hopefully I can rack up a bit of a score this time. So okay. So yeah, basically the whole aspect of the game is who can score the most points by just collecting the green and blue asteroids. Every time the green and blue one appears on the screen, it's a different speed, so it's a the processing method random is being used just to generate different speeds each time. So I'm just going to, I might just die off here because I think this is my last life, and I'll just go through the code. Okay, cool. So no lives remaining, and then it gives us a message to say there's no more ships to launch. Click OK to see the leaderboard, and here's the leaderboard. So our lowest was 3 right here. Our highest was 6, and our average score was 4. And we're just going to click OK here, and now I'm going to demonstrate the code. So I'm just creating 5 objects here. So I'm declaring the 5 objects. Here's my object array, and then I'm initializing the objects down here. But I'll just take you through the global variables first. So this is the number of asteroids. So at the start of the game, you had a choice on how difficult you wanted the game. So this is just how many asteroids you want. The game is hard coded to 5 lives. The number of games is user dependent, and the number of games played is a counter variable just to count up at the end of the game. So for the setup method, this is just the instructions put into a string variable, and I put this into a J option show message dialog to uppercase just to demonstrate the game. Similar to assignment 1, size, no cursor, ship. So creating the ship object, 50-50 height and width, or width and height, sorry. Number of asteroids right here. So this is user dependent. Satellite, 50 diameter, both circles. So this is the player, so the player's name, and then the number of games. So the number of games here. So this is user dependent as well. And then we're creating our asteroid object through a for loop. And we're just using the random processing method here just to give the asteroid a different size every time the game is played. So ship update border, this is just the method to control the border for the ship so it doesn't go off the window size. Ship.display just displays the window or the ship, very sorry. Move ship, so this is the keylogger. Satellite.display, this is the display method to show the satellite, the green ball. This is to update the green ball to make sure it doesn't bounce out of the window. Update the bonus ball, so this causes the bonus ball, sorry, the blue one to come out of the screen when it comes through and drops through the height, the max height, it goes again. So I just done that to kind of mix it up, and that's just to display it. So this is the rectangle at the top, so it's just 200 in height, so the square or the ship can't get past it. And then I have my for loop here iterating through the asteroid object array, just to update and display those also. So I have 3 Boolean variables here, and all of these have a different method, which I'll show down below, detecting collision detection. So to hit satellite, every time a collision is true, it does a collection, it resets the satellite at the top, and then the score goes up by 1. So it's 1 for the green satellite. This is for green. This is for the bonus one, which is blue. So every time you get a blue satellite, it goes up by 2. And then this is one of these are kind of key elements here. I'd like to point out. So the collision, when the ship is hit, it will lose -5 in size. So I'm using the get current height and get current weight, and then I'm minusing 5 off that each time. So the number of lives goes down, and then I'm resetting the asteroids every time I get hit because of I had a bug where it was constantly hitting the square and would rack up 5 lives in like one hit. So number of games. So this is the number of games the user plays. When this hits 0, gives the option to see the leaderboard, and this is the number of lives. So that's always going to be 5. So when that hits 0, the number of games goes down. So for example, if I pick 3 games, when this message shows, it would show 2. Just because it would show 3 if I didn't have the -1 here, and since it's the next game, we wanted to have 2 lives. So every time we click yes, it resets the ship size back to 50-50, and resets the game. So the score and the number of lives and number of games goes down, and the number of games played goes up. So this is just the counter variable again. So here's the tournament over method, and here's the reset game. So these are similar to Pong. So we're just demonstrating the score at the end, and that's the min, max, and average. And here's the keylogger. This is a key aspect I'd like to point out. So I'm actually using the setters and getters here. So I'm modifying the getters every time. So if I select up, it would take -10 off the current Y position. So this would change it around. So I'd just like to point that out. And this is the collision detection for the circle and square. Now looking back on this actually is a rectangle collision detection, but I managed to get it working with a circle. I just made 4 points of the circle here. So left, right, top, bottom. And then I did the exact same thing with the square. And this is actually anti-collision detection. I just want to point this out as well. It's actually anti. So I just use the not operator, I should say. So if the left ship is not greater than asteroid right, then return a true to the Boolean method up on this one right here. So this is the collision one, okay? And luckily enough, after I done this, I got wind of the this function. So this made my life a lot easier. It was so much more easier to calculate. So this is actually on a website called Happy IO Processing. I'll reference this in the reflection tab. So all of this is in the Happy IO Processing website for collision detection. So I'm basically calculating the coordinates for the X position, Y position of the ship, and then the bonus ball, and the same thing with the ship here, but the satellite here. So this is the green ball. So if it's less than the satellite dot get diameter, you return true, and exact same for the hit bonus. So this is kind of the as you say, the guts of the whole game. So very quickly, I'll just go through my getters and setters. So this is the asteroid class. So it's the default constructor. Then I'm using the normal constructor here to take in the diameter, getting the X position, Y position, using this multiple times in the AsterVoid to calculate collision detection. This is the validation rule. So I just set up a validation for the asteroid just so it doesn't go out of bounds in size, so it doesn't go too big or too small, I should say. Very sorry. And then this the display method. So this just displays the red ball. Reset. So just use the random width. So anywhere on the x-axis at the top, the ball will come down. And this is the update. So this is similar to Pong with a slight modification. So the ball actually doesn't go off the screen at all. It bounces around. Bonus. So on the bonus, encapsulation rules applying again here. Default constructor, using this constructor just for the diameter. X position, Y position, get diameter, set diameter. So no validation needed here. So same thing again with the reset. It goes on the x-axis for the width. Update. For the bonus one, this actually comes, if this hits the height, it resets the ball to the very top, and it just this the display method here. So player, we just want to point out the key element here, which is probably the array. So just this is user dependent on the amount of games they want to play, and then we add a score. So every time the 5 lives end, it adds a score, and it calculates the highest score, the lowest score, and the average score at the end of the game. This is get player name, get score, and this is the toString right here, and set player name. So satellite, this is the green ball. So try to demonstrate a overloaded constructor here. I actually took this from lab 5A with the spot example. To be honest, I still think it's a bit of a gray area for me. but I'm not too sure if this will apply. But I've just done it just for the sake of it, just to demonstrate some example of overloading. Getters and setters again, same thing with the reset. Weight comes from the top. This bounces around, so slight modification, so it bounces around the screen. It doesn't bounce off display. And then for the last class, it's the ship. So we have the four variables using the private method. So these are encapsulated, so they're strictly for this class. Have my default constructor and then my normal constructor, and then I have the get weight, set height, set X position, and then I have the update. So this is the 200 here, so it doesn't go past the red barrier, and then the display. So thank you very much for taking your time to listen to this, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks again.